Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Edtech Throwdown, the University Edition. We're going to introduce ourselves in a little bit, but the first thing I'll let all of you know is that we're going to go through a lot of information today. And if at any point you would like to have access to this information yourselves, you can see there is a bit.ly link at the top of the screen here that you can type in. This link will give you access to all of the slides that we are using to make this presentation, and they are kind of meant to be used not just for the presentation, but by people learning about these educational technology tools. So there's a lot of things that are clickable and some links and embedded videos and other stuff to help you out. So make sure to grab a copy of that. These bit.ly links are case sensitive, so make sure the U down here is capitalized. And at the end of the presentation, we will give you this again in case you need another chance to get access to it. But let's get started with some introductions. My name is Nick Johnson. I'm a chemistry teacher and a technology coach at Hopewell Valley Central High School. I'm also one of the co-hosts of Got Tech, the podcast, which I'll talk more about in a little bit. Eric, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name's Eric Guise. I'm the media and tech specialist and a former science teacher here at Hopewell Valley Central High School. Like Nick said, we're tech coaches. We're hosts of a podcast called Got Tech, the podcast, and we're very happy to bring this presentation to you today.
If any of you are in the social media world, in particular Twitter, a lot of educational stuff is still happening on Twitter. You can find both of us there at Guys Got Tech and at Nick Got Tech. You'll also find me on Instagram at Nick Got Tech, where we post show releases for the podcast and other things. If you like this video and you like our style and sort of the way we bring educational information, you can find us lots of different places. So our podcast, we do have a website, gottech.com, where you can find blogs, podcast episodes. But most likely you're going to be listening to our podcast via Spotify or Apple or YouTube. And really, there's tons of other things there. Pretty much any place you would want to listen to a podcast, you will find Got Tech, the podcast. And it's just me and Guise giving you more of the same, pretty much, as what you're getting today. So that's some of the places you can find us. All of these things, by the way, are clickable. So if you do have a copy of the slides presentation, like I talked about, you can click on these for easy navigation to any of our pages. And we always start off by just letting people know that even though we are here presenting to you about educational technology, and that is really our main thing and what we often present on and push to people, we do know that technology is not a silver bullet. It does not fix everything. There is no replacement for good teaching and building relationships with students. But we do also believe really strongly that the tech, and a lot of the tech we're going to feature today in this lesson, it really has a lot of power to increase learning for diverse learners in ways that you just could not do without the technology. So what we're really talking about is just using technology to support the good teaching moves that are already taking place in your classrooms to make it even more powerful. So that's an important message we always like to share. And with that, I'll introduce the official beginning of the EdTech Throwdown. Here's the way it works, everybody. So Guise and I, we're great friends and we've been working together as colleagues for a long time, but we do tend to argue quite a bit. Our personalities are not the same, and that leads to a fair amount of friendly disagreement. And we thought it would be kind of funny to bring that to a professional development presentation. That's what you're about to watch, called the EdTech Throwdown. So the way it works is I have chosen what I believe to be the 7 best, I think we chose 7 apiece, the 7 best EdTech tools. Guise, of course, disagrees. He has chosen his 7 best, and we are going to present them to you. I'm going to do mine first, and then we're going to switch, and Guise will do his. At the very end, the best part is that you get to vote and tell us who actually has the best. Sometimes I win, sometimes Guise wins, and we'll see who comes out on top today. Before we actually start, my friend, did I miss anything there?
Yeah, I think you nailed everything on the head. We've done this quite a number of times. So may the best tech coach win.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to get started with my 7. I'm going to just do a very brief overview. Each of these, it's not meant to teach you the ins and outs of how to use the tool fully. It's just to kind of let you know that it's out there, so that if it appeals to you, you can do more investigation yourself. And my first one is called Slip and Slide. Before I begin, you'll notice there are some links here, like website. So if you like Slip and Slide and you have a copy of these slides, you can click that to go to their website. We found a video introduction that will walk you through how it works to kind of help you get started with these tools in the event you want to check it out. But here's the introduction that I'll do now. Slip and Slide allows you to effortlessly insert slides into multiple student presentations at once. So if you can imagine, you've pushed out a slide deck to a class of students, only to realize that that slide deck was incomplete. And this happens all the time as a teacher. You'll find that you make mistakes, or maybe the project wasn't totally done when you were starting it in class. So your students need a little bit more information, a different slide deck. Maybe you just didn't want them to have all the slides at the beginning. And now that it's been a couple days, they're all ready for maybe say part 2 of the project. So you're ready to push that out. You can use this add-on to literally take additional slides and slip them or add them to a bunch of other student slide decks. So here's how it works. It's all based off of Google Drive folders. That's the only qualification. The slide decks that you are pushing additional slides into have to all be in the same Google Drive folder, which is convenient because this is how a lot and probably all of learning management systems work. So if you're using Google Classroom, it's automatically doing this anyway. When there's a class set of documents, it's putting them all in the same folder, just like you see here. So here's a very small sample class. I have these 4 students. If I open up one of these 4 student slide decks, you'll see that it's a very simple collection of 3 slides, except what the students do not have access to, right? There's some instructions that they've got, a place to put a picture of the posters they create. What they don't have, and this is my original slide deck that I have since added to, what they don't have is the grading information behind it. And I want them to have this so they know how to do a good job. So I can take this additional slide and add it to all the other slides with Slip and Slide. So it's an add-on. So when you add this via their website, it's going to pop up under the add-ons menu. You can see it here, Slip and Slide. You'll simply click here to start that process. And it's going to ask you a series of questions and guide you through kind of which slide you want to use, where's it going to go. So the first one says, choose where you would like to start your Slip and Slide. So I'm going to say, maybe we'll start with slide number 1. Choose where you would like to end your Slip and Slide. Actually, I don't want to use slide 1. I'm going to use slide number 4. And I am using only that one slide, right? Because it's just this additional that I'm putting in there. Then it's going to ask where in the student presentations should we put this. You can go at the beginning, at the end, or embed it into the middle. For me, I'm just going to push it to the end. And it's going to say that it's working and that it's finished. So it kind of gives you some updates on if it worked or if it didn't. If I X out of this, you'll see that my original has a second copy of it too. So that's because my original happens to be in the same folder. But now if I go to the student sample, you'll see that that student sample now contains the grading information. I can tell you from experience, this is very, very useful. It's a nice thing to know that you can do in case you're ever stuck and you need to push more info to your students. So that again is called Slip and Slide. Next up, I have gifs.com. This is one of my favorites, everybody. Really, really great to know that you can take any YouTube video you want and convert it into a GIF with no downloads, no special skills, no nothing, totally for free. With this website called gifs.com. The really great part is you don't even actually have to go to gifs.com. Here's how it works. So I'm going to choose any YouTube video I want. Now I could just embed this YouTube video in a presentation to show the students, but sometimes GIFs are a little nicer because when you embed them in a slide deck, they just play on loop automatically, so the kids get to see it over and over again, and you don't have to worry about clicking play and any of that clumsy stuff. So they can be more convenient. So if I want to turn a portion of this into a GIF, all I do is go to the video and then head up here to the URL for the video. And in front of YouTube, you type the word GIF, GIF. And once you've done that, you'll hit enter. And it's going to automatically reroute you to gifs.com, where it's going to take that video and start downloading it and exporting it in a GIF format for you to use. Once you're there, you can then download it, and it's yours. You can do whatever you want with it. Push it out to your students, embed it in presentations. That's mostly what I'm using this for. You can choose portions of the video. So you can see here, it's asking me to pick a start time. This is 11 minutes long, and I definitely don't want an 11-minute GIF. So really, I just need the exciting part of this video. So I'm going to start my GIF here, and you can slide to choose an end time. I'm going to end it there. And when you click create GIF, it's going to go through the options of, creating this. There are ways you can add captions and images and cropping and other sorts of fancy things. Usually I skip all that just so I can get my GIF and be on my way, because you can see just how quick and easy that is to do. And I'll say again, totally free. This can be used by anybody. And that is gifs.com that makes this possible.
That's definitely a solid tool, Nick, especially for personalized learning. I would use this to make my own stickers, digital stickers or digital gifts to push out as a grade assignments, just to personalize the classroom a little bit. So I like that one.
Yeah, that's another great use besides just your own presentations. Little digital stickers can help get the students excited, and GIFs are a very fun way to do it. All right, next up, I have Baamboozle, spelled with 2 A's. This is one of the many, many gaming platforms that are out there for you to choose from. And there's a lot to choose from. You probably know about some of them like Kahoot or Quizzes or Quizalize or Gimkit. And this is just one more to add to the list. And this one's kind of cool and does something unique that the others do not do. So here I am on my Baamboozle page. And when I come here, you have a library of games that you can make yourself. So if you can design these things. But to show you how it works, I'm just going to click on games to see some of the ones that are available from around the world that you have access to. So here's one that pops up right away and kind of catches my attention here. Fun facts, trivia. If I want to preview that to see if I want to use it, maybe as like an icebreaker in class, I can click on it. And all these little tiles are the different questions that are part of this game. So if I like it and I'm ready to play this in class, I can click play. There are some versions of the game, and you have to pay for these. It's called Baamboozle Plus. We'll talk about that at the end. But like a lot of these tools, there's a free version. So I'm going to come down here and click the free version. If I was logged in here, it's going to give me the option to have up to 4 teams. You get 4 teams for free. I'm not logged in, so it's limiting me to 2. And we'll go ahead with that so you can see how it works. But if you had a class full of students, you're going to want to go to the maximum teams possible, which is about 4. And we're going to play the classic version of the game. And here we go. So the way this works, and it's a little bit different, where most games now that are played in the classroom involve students sitting in front of a screen, and they sign up with a code, and they log in and play as themselves independently. And it's, that can be really fun, and there's lots of great games, but what you lose in that is the face-to-face element, the team element, and that's what Baamboozle brings back. So there is no login code when you play Baamboozle in the classroom. The kids sit in teams, so you have to group them. They sit face-to-face and have to talk and work together. So what you're projecting is what you guys are seeing here in this video. So I'll say team 1, and you can name these and have some fun with the naming aspect, but team 1 gets to choose, maybe they pick number 6. And it shows the question. They just answer verbally. There's no typing in answers. They just tell you what they think the answer is. You click check, and you get the answer of Sudan. If you click OK, if they get it right, oops. If they get it wrong, let's click OK. You can see they get 15 points. Then it pops over to team 2. They select card 8, and they get their question. You check it. They do not get the points. And you're just playing this sort of live in-person game. It's kind of a throwback to the way classroom games used to be played before the Kahoot and everything else hit the market. If we do this long enough, you would see that there's fun things sort of built in where they get to steal points from the other team when they click on certain tiles. And what you'll find, and what the kids will find, is that it's really fun to play a game where they are not forced into just staring at their own screen. They're forced instead into talking to each other and working as a team to play this game. So if you can think of times where that might be a little bit more fun to do this type of a game, even just to change it up from what your typical gameplay is like in class, Baamboozle is definitely your best choice out there for how to do this. So that's Baamboozle. My next selection is called Prezi Video. Really, really awesome tool for recording videos, recording screencasts. You'll find that these days in education, you spend a lot of time recording your own videos to push out to your students, either for extra help or support, or maybe a flipped classroom type of a lesson. Prezi Video is another really kind of an engaging way to do that. And there's tons of great options out there, probably Screencastify being the most well-known and the easiest to use. But Prezi Video is going to let you do this in a slightly more engaging way. So I'm just going to click on one that I made earlier so you can get the flavor of how it works. What it lets you do is import Google Slides or PowerPoint presentation slides, and it's going to play through those with you as the background to your video. And you can see the sort of navigation there as it slides through is very clean, very neat. And it gives you a super sort of a different look to your video, and it's going to help to capture your viewers' attention a little bit more. You can also use this for student video projects as a different creative way to do it. As you're making this video, adding slides like this is not the only option. You can also add in text and images. They have little GIFs that will play sort of on top of you in the background there for an even more engaging look. You can pay for this tool, but a lot of it you can use for free as well. So Prezi Video is another cool one for making just very engaging video content for your students. It's going to get away from the typical of what they're used to. Okay, Canva for education. This one is huge, both from the teacher side and from the student project side. This is, I think, my one selection more than anything else I would recommend to upcoming teachers. Canva for education. So let's go to Canva. Canva is a graphic design platform for people who are not graphic designers. It lets you make really engaging, like it started with social media graphics, but it's kind of expanded into this huge educational space as well. And if you sign up as an educator, you get a lot of the tools with Canva that you would otherwise have to pay for. You can use it for free under the Canva for Education heading. Once you do that and make your education account, you can see I'm in Eric's Guise class right now. You can create assignments in here and push out assignments to your students that they then complete via the Canva platform. Very, very easy. So if you have like a template that you want them to use, you can push that template out to an entire class worth of students here. Just the very simple sign up code. It's really, really easy to use. Some things you can do with your students. If I just come over here to their templates, you can see some of the things that are available just right off the bat, like maybe worksheets. Maybe you're not sure what you're going to do in class tomorrow. So you're going to check out some of the worksheet templates that Canva has for you. And you can see just how professional and how engaging and cool a lot of these things are. They are ready to be printed and used by you. So some of them are just like, different images to color in. A lot of them are math based, and you can search by subject area for these. That's one of the main things I like to show about Canva for Education. If your students are using this, one of my favorite uses is for infographic creation. They can use one of the many infographic templates for class projects of their own. And you can see how awesome these things look. They're going to get really excited because of how professional their final products will look. And, they get to edit these with whatever text and images they need for that project. There's tons and tons of templates, tons and tons of different projects that this enables your students to do. And it's just probably the best platform for any sort of digital content creation in this way. So we highly recommend Canva for Education. It is an awesome tool.
Yeah, I will echo that a little bit. And I'll tell you that I am the most artistically challenged person probably on this planet. But with Canva, it allows me to make these awesome graphics that someone would actually think that I had a little bit of skill if they didn't know what Canva was all about. So That's another solid one for Nick. I'm going to stop supporting you because it might, shift the voting a little bit.
No, yeah, keep it up, man. You're making me look good. But he's right. I mean, you can look like a professional, even just, if you're trying to get classroom posters for yourself, they have tons of classroom posters. And like you just said, you look like a professional designer with some of these posters that you just get to edit the text for and then, get it printed out maybe in school or head over to a FedEx office. And they look really awesome and they're personalized by you. So it's really, really a handy tool for tons of different things. My last two, I'll do really quickly here. The first one is called Classhook, and it is for just that. It is coming up with hooks to begin your lessons. They pull clips from TV shows and movies, so these are pop culture reference videos that you can use to start off lessons, all searchable by topic. So I'm a chemistry teacher. I'm teaching about acids and acid-base chemistry, and I know that hydrofluoric acid is a pretty interesting one, and maybe I want to see if there's a clip centered around that. Here's one, and it pulls just this one from Breaking Bad. The nice part about it is that I don't have to worry about searching YouTube and have things that are possibly not appropriate be included in the video because they screen for all of that. And you can find these clips sort of pre-made, pre-cut, and ready to go to show just the parts that apply. And within seconds, I have a hook to start off my lesson on strong versus weak acids and bases. So that's just one example of the many, many really cool things. They have other stuff available like pre-made lessons and worksheets and discussion boards that go along with each video if you want to use it. But a lot of the time I just get in here and search out an exciting video to use just for the beginning of the class, just to play, to get the kids interested in what we're talking about and learning that particular day. So it's called Classhook. And then my very last selection is called EdPuzzle. If you don't know about EdPuzzle, it's an incredible tool. If you can ever imagine yourself assigning videos for students to watch for homework, one of the more stressful parts about it is keeping track of if they've actually watched the video and how much and what they understood from it. That's what EdPuzzle does for you. So here I'm logged into my EdPuzzle account. I'll pull up one from a session we did a couple months back. You can take any video you want. A lot of these are just pulled from YouTube. And you can submit it out to a classroom full of students. And you can see this class from the session that we ran. It shows you how much of the video that was watched. So all these full green ones are 100% watchers as you go towards the end. You can see some that watched none of it or half of it or 75% of it. Very, very helpful, especially if they're supposed to be doing it for a homework assignment. You can also choose various points in the video to pause and not allow the students to go any further until they answer a question. So I had one at 35 seconds. So here it's showing me, question by question, 24 out of 32 students got this one correct, which is not half bad. That tells me how to address this video and the content in that video the next day after my students come in having watched it. Obviously, the data and the classroom management aspect of this are invaluable if you are having your students watch videos as part of class. So EdPuzzle is huge and an incredible tool. I highly, highly recommend it. And that wraps up my 7. I'll kick it over now to Guise to present his 7 to you. And I think you have to share your screen.
I'm getting there. All right. So, Nick, you could see that. So let's just get right into it. So
Yep.
my 7, you're going to see sometimes I'm going to challenge Nick and some of his tools, and sometimes I'm going to go and stray and do something completely different. One thing I believe that Nick's tools are lacking is feedback. And I'm not talking the instant feedback that you just got with EdPuzzle. I'm talking feedback to some of the larger time committed projects that students might type. My first one is Mote, and it's a Chrome extension that allows you to easily transcribe voice comments. And also, it allows you to give voice comments using audio as well. And I'm going to show you this. I just pulled up one of our blog posts that we wrote on gamification. So if I wanted Nick to go and check this out, just like we would write a comment into a Google Doc before, we would highlight it and we would hit plus. But when we have the Mote extension, which looks like this, you could get it on the Chrome store. When we have the Mote extension added to our extension list, we can now just hit this M right here. And I'm going to click record. Hey, Nick, will you check out this blog post? Let me know if you have any feedback. All right, so what it's going to do is it's going to record that and it's going to put it into the document. All right, so it's highlighted right there. A student can come and they could play and hear my voice comments. Now, if I had, which I do, if I have the transcription or translation functionality turned on, I have whatever I say put into Spanish, and it is pretty accurate. It's based off of the Google Translator, so it's very, very accurate there. And as you can see, it's translating this. This is a huge piece, especially if you're in a very diverse school that maybe you don't have Spanish as a second language, but you have Spanish-speaking parents or Spanish-speaking kids. This is something that can kind of, help both parties out. A way to communicate, which is huge in your class. I will tell you this, Mote is adding new features all the time. They have ways to do, they have like a Mote box or Mote list. I can't remember the exact name, but I'll get back to that later. But Mote comments, it's canned comments. So if you're grading a lab or something like that, and typically you're writing the same comments as feedback, you could record it once and just drag in those comments in. If we go back to the presentation, you could also see up at the top here that Mote is embedded into Google Slides. You could also use it in Sheets, in Classroom, and really anywhere on Chrome. So this is a very awesome tool that you could use in your classroom for feedback. There's also a way to track whether or not the students open up the Mote, listen to the Mote, and then they could respond with a couple different emojis to let the teacher know that they understood your feedback. They could also give you a Mote back and let you know that way as well. All right, so for this slide, you're going to see a third area down here. These are templates. We've made 8 or 9 different templates, probably more than that, but I think we attached 8 templates onto this doc right here that you can go check out. Things like Mote debates, claims evidence reasoning, planning out stories, book reports, all of these types of things you could find on our templates. And Mote also has their own collection of templates that you could go and check out as well on their website. My second one is called Flippity. So if I go to Flippity, this is like the Sheets doctor. That's what I call it, the Google Sheets doctor, because me personally, as an educator coming out of college, Sheets was probably in Excel, but I'm pretty much a Sheets guy now. Was one of my weakest EdTech tools that I used. If you go to Flippity, there are tons of different templates here that you could turn a Google Sheet into something really cool, such as flashcards, a quiz show, randomizer, random name picker. There's ways to do virtual breakouts, board games. I mean, the list goes on and on. They keep adding stuff. I really like the progress checker and the leaderboard. These are pretty sweet as well. If I click into the name clicker and I demo it, what it will do is give you a template. And after you fill out the template of names, it will make this wheel. And the cool thing about it is this is a spinner, but now you could do single names. So when I spin it, it's kind of like the, I'm trying to think of the big wheel, the Price is Right wheel. It's only giving you the space that it's landing on. You could do a lineup. So you could say, okay, Jane, you're up first, and then we'll go in the order here to participate. You could do groups of 2, 3, 4, 5. You could do teams. You could do a seating chart. So it's all over the place with this. And basically, it allows you to have all these different functionalities, and all that you had to do was copy your class roster and paste it into a sheet, and then you're off to the races. So the templates are that easy, and it's a pretty awesome tool. I'm going to clean this up a little bit to make Nick happy, because he is not a tabs guy whatsoever. My next one is another awesome tool. It's Book Creator. Book Creator is partnered up with Nick's tool, which is Canva, and you can make your all your images and stuff through Canva. So that's pretty cool, and you can implement them into your book. So if I go into Book Creator, I'm going to go into one that I made. So this is me teaching AP Bio last year. Here's Unit 8 Ecology. If I go into it, all I did was drag in a picture that I found on Google. I added my text. The next one, I do a table of contents. And then I also put my criteria here. So this is what I'm looking for, because what I'm doing is sharing this book out to groups of students, and they're assigned one of these 12 topics, and they have to meet this criteria. And as they go in there, I put a very general rubric. I give them a more official rubric, but when we make our rubrics, we often, it's tiered 1 through 5. Okay. And one thing that I notice is that 5 ends up being a checklist. They have it or they don't have it, and they get full points. I would encourage to make your checklist your midway point, your 3. So if they provide all definitions, they get 3 points. Okay. If they provide a video, they get 3 points. If they provide 2 assignments that they covered in class, they get 3 points apiece for a total of 6. So my checklist is my midway point. If they go above and beyond, like they give a definition and then show how it's applied or use it in a real world example, then I might bump them up to a 4 or a 5. So we want to keep pushing the envelope, and we want them to take it a step further and get out of using just a checklist to grade things. All right, so each student or each group will get a topic, and then this is their page that they would work on. And when you're done, you have in AP Bio, they have to take a test at the end of the year. So if everyone is doing this for each chapter, they could go visit these books, look at the different topics in each chapter, and study from these books. And that was a big success in my class last year. All right, so let's go to the next one, which is PDF Candy. A lot of times we work in the PDF land. Anything that someone sends you is usually a PDF if they don't want you to edit it. Well, sometimes you want to edit it, or you want to add to it or annotate it. PDF Candy is your tool for anything that you need to do to a PDF. All right, so if you take a look here, you can compress the PDF. So what does that mean? It means if you're going to put it onto a website, your website will load faster if you compress a PDF, because it's taking up less space. All right, it's not as hard to open up. If you have 2 PDFs and you want to merge them together, there's a merge. You can make your PDF and convert it to Word, go from Word to PDF, Excel to PDF. You can take a look at some of these. This one's pretty cool. So if you're sending, if you need to sign something and send it back, you can digitally sign it using this tool down here. There are many other ones if you want to delete pages or split up a PDF or edit or annotate that PDF. So many different tools here that you could find. It's simple. You just upload the PDF that you want to work with, and then change it the way that you want, and then download it so it reflects those changes. So that's PDF Candy. My next one is probably the biggest time saver for teachers. If you want to make a presentation and you want it to look professional and you want it to be awesome, maybe you're getting observed tomorrow and you want to make that slides presentation, just next level. It takes a long time for you to do that. So Slidesmania does it for you. All you have to do is add the content. All right, so if I go into Slidesmania, this is what it looks like. Up at the top, just pay attention to the education one. I think it's awesome. You can note that it has many different categories here. You could do planners, weekly, yearly, choice boards, games, manipulatives, education, bundles, interactive templates. I'm going to click on one. Nick, which one should I click on?
Let's do one of the games. How about?
All right, so we're going to the games. All right, so here it is. We have a whole bunch of different games. The lady that made the site, her name's Paula. She's fantastic. She makes all this cool stuff. This is not her job. Her job is actually in the banking industry, but she does work on these when she's at home. It's a way to decompress and show her artistic talent. So all these are games, and you can use whichever one that you want. And the cool thing about this is it works for PowerPoint and it works for Google Slides as well. And you could pick whichever one that you want. I'm going to go to which is it. And what it's going to do is it's going to give you kind of a preview of it. And then it's going to describe it down here and tell you how you can edit it, show you how you can edit it. Here's a video on how to edit it and what it looks like. But if after all that you really like it, you could download it as a PowerPoint or open it in Google Slides. And it's as simple as a click. You click on it and then you just say use template. And when you say use template, it's going to pop up. And now it's a version that you can edit and you can make your own. And it's super easy to do. So you add a statement, you add your options, you go to the next one, and you add the correct answer there. And you just keep doing that. And it's just an awesome tool. And it's that easy to use. So this is Slidesmania. This is one that you're going to want in your back pocket as you venture out into the education world when you get your first job or student teaching.
Yeah, I'll say if there's one thing probably to take away from today that can be used at the simplest levels, but with the biggest impact, it's probably Slidesmania. So it's a great one to know about.
All right, my next one is Bookwidgets. Bookwidgets, it's a bunch of, if you have worked with Pear Deck or Nearpod, and they have those interactivity, like you could pick this or that, you could do a crossword, those little checkpoints that kind of break up the lesson a little bit but get them working with the content. That's what Bookwidgets is all about. So if I go to the Bookwidgets page here, you could go sign up, you could pick your level. There are 40 plus digital exercises that you can choose from, and it's going to give you some data that you could work with. All right, so this one is a fantastic one. So let's see if I can find some of the tools that you could use here. Here are your book widgets. You can make a crossword. You can split a worksheet, active plot. Let's go into some more. See all these widgets. So what's cool is in the widget library, they break them out by category. So these are all the test and review ones that you could do. Exit slip is awesome. Building timelines, you could have a whiteboard, worksheet, that type of thing. You have your games. So here's a bingo card. Make that bingo card very, very easily, quickly. A lot of games here. Then you have some pictures and videos that you could use, different ones that you could use. Going into the math, so you have active plot, you have a spreadsheet, charts, just for quick activities that you can embed into your presentations and into your lessons. Google Maps, PDF viewer, web embed. Here's some miscellaneous. The checklist is pretty cool because you could give them a list of small actions that they must complete by the end of the period or by the end of the lesson or by the end of the week, and you can send that out. So this is Bookwidgets, a lot of awesome little things that you can incorporate into your lessons. And finally, we have myedtechbundle.com. Okay, this is full transparency here. Nick, myself, and one of our friends, Kyle Nemus, started My EdTech Bundle. And we really sat down during the pandemic and we were trying. The pandemic had a couple of silver linings. It brought light of how far the technology divide is across the United States and really across the world. And we wanted to find a way that we could team up with awesome EdTech tools and get teachers a longer free trial to check out some of these tools. So, we're hoping by allowing teachers to check out EdTech tools, we're no longer spending money on tools that aren't useful for us, and they're now spending money on the ones that are useful for them. So a lot of times we have to just pick a tool, get a district-wide subscription in order for the district to save money. Well, wouldn't it be nice for the district to be able to try multiple different tools and then choose the one that fits their needs the best? And what we did is we collaborated with, I think we're over 30 tools now. I think we have 28 on the site, and we're over 30 tools to get a longer free subscription period. So I'm going to go into myedtechbundle.com, and this tells you a little bit about what we do. Down here are all the tools. So typically, I believe Pear Deck gives like a 4 or 6 week trial period. I can't remember. But with our site, if you go and you select that one and add it to your cart, remember, I don't know if I said this, but I'm going to bring this out. Everything is absolutely free. You do not pay a dime for any of this stuff. There are stipulations on certain tools, but we make that well known. For example, Pear Deck, if you have never used a discount code or a promo code for Pear Deck, you could go to our website, hit the add to cart, and it's going to give you the month that it already gives you on the site, plus an additional whatever this time period is up here for. So additional 3 months on top. So you'll get 4 months total for Pear Deck for free, premium version. All right, it's not like you're getting a freemium version, you're getting the premium version there. All right, so Nearpod, Book Creator, you're going to notice a lot of the tools that we brought to you today. We are also featuring, not all of them, but some of them we're featuring on here. Another one that I really like is IORAD, especially if you're if you're going in and you give a lot of instruction manuals, things like that, because it allows you to make a video and it gives whoever's watching your video the step-in-step clicks and instructions as you do them on your site. So there are tons of tools here that are absolutely free for a mini subscription to a lot of these tools. All right, and we're constantly adding to these tools. We're very excited about this. We hope you take advantage of it. Like we said before, it is absolutely free. So please go take advantage of it. A lot of these tools are 2, 3, 4 months, so it fits perfectly in with your student teaching. All right. One thing that we will caution you, even though we have vetted these tools and we really love these tools, you'll have to check with your cooperating teacher just to make sure that they're approved by your district that you're teaching in. All right. So those are my 7 tools. I think we have an awesome, just an awesome lineup of 14 tools here that should help you save this presentation, come back to it. This isn't something that we expect you to check out all 14 tools at once, but maybe you pick one now, you work with it a little bit, and then you go pick another one. All right, so here are Nick's picks. Here are my picks. This is the bit.ly throwdown vote. Every once in a while, we'll post results on our Twitter feed, just letting everyone know where we are at as far as who's winning this throwdown. If your teacher reaches out and your professor reaches out and said, "Hey, I assigned this for homework, and you guys want to know who won," we could give you those results. Just connect with us on Twitter. So that one's bit.ly/throwdownvote. All right, and once again, we wanted to make this as transparent as possible. So if you look at the picks, Nick's picks, my picks, you could get free subscriptions at my EdTech Bundle on any of the ones that are in white right now. If they are in navy blue, they are totally free all the time. And then there are ones that have freemium options. Those are the ones that are in black. So we would like to take a second just to thank you for tuning in. We're hoping that you found this helpful and that if you have any questions, you can reach out to us on Twitter at Guise Got Tech or Nick Got Tech. And if you have any other questions, please just reach out to us. That's the best way of doing it. And remember to go check out our podcast anywhere where you can get podcasts. Here's the bit.ly link for the presentation again, in case you missed it. You can pause the video, and get it whenever you want. Nick, did I miss anything?
Nope, that about wraps it up. Thank you guys very much for tuning in, and we look forward to hearing from you.
We'll see you later.